you can see me and hear me and whatnot. My internet is apparently being like kind of good, kind of off. It hates me today because we've had bad weather the last few days. So it's just like, screw you, queen. So I hope everyone is having a good day. Hello. Hello. Okay, I'm going to go to my chat. Sorry. Hello. Hello. Hello, Christina. Hello, Ikey boy. And we have Joseph here. Joseph and I have been having a lot of fun with the flat earth people, although I think I might have burnt him out from it. Hello, Spade Kingdom. Yes. So today I really wanted to talk about this scam. Let me know if my internet's being wonky because it does really hate me, but it seems to be okay. I don't know. It just keeps telling me up. Oh, I did it the right way this time. It keeps telling me up in this corner here. It has like this little thing that's like, oh, your internet might be wonky. And I'm like, I don't know why, but okay. But it's because we've had really bad weather the last couple days. So hello, Johnny. I hope you are well today. And okay, good. So not yet. Yet being the key word with that. So I wanted to talk today about this scam that has been going on here in Ontario and basically all over Canada. I know it also happens in the USA. It's just that I'm from Canada, and for some reason right now where I'm from, they actually have taken people for $57,000, which is a lot. It's equaled out to over $2,000 a person on average. And so I wanted to talk about that today. I wanted to read the article that they put out about it just to kind of warn people and go through how you can protect yourself from it. And also, there's a cashier who actually saved somebody from it. So it would be really cool if we talked that person up, because that's like really, really awesome. Does it have to do with a Nigerian prince? Well, see, the funny thing is that this one actually tricks seniors that think that they are helping out somebody close to them. So the main way that they'll do this, like there's two different ones kind of going on with the gift card scam, it seems like. And there's one where they'll have like a young man call your grandparents up and pretend to be you. Okay, so they'll pretend to be the grandson and they'll say, I just went to jail, or I got into some other sort of emergency and I need some money. And the way that you can give me that money is that you send me a gift card. So go to the store, buy a gift card, and then give me the numbers. And they usually get something like a MasterCard, right? Like they usually ask for a master gift card because you can get those now. Wonderful. They're supposed to be used for Christmas gifts and things like that, but we have scammers using them to rip people off. And unfortunately, a lot of seniors out here are just like, they don't know any better. And it seems like, like a lot of them have hearing issues and things like that. So maybe they don't know the voice on the phone isn't actually their grandchild. So it would just be like, hello, Freddie. Yeah, I've had it up for a couple weeks now. Hello. Because I've been trying to get good at scheduling live streams, but then I totally forgot to schedule the ones for the next couple weeks. So I'm going to have to do that after this. But yeah, so there's that way. The other thing that they seem to be doing somehow is they're also sending out emails to people to say that they owe money to the CRA. And then somehow that has to be paid back in gift cards, which the CRA is the Canada Revenue Agency. It's the tax place. And I'm sure in the USA, you guys have a tax place that they do this with. So, they say you owe money for your taxes and you have to pay your tax money back by going and getting a gift card. Again, it's usually the MasterCard one, but I've also heard of them asking for like Walmart gift cards and random gift cards like that. And then, you call them up, you give them the number on the card, which then gives them the ability to use the card, of course. And then you're out of your money for the card, out of your money for everything, because it's not your loved one and it's not the CRA. And I know that in the US, you guys do have the same scams going on right now. I've heard a lot about them. Oh, Emily is here. Sorry, Emily. Hi, Emily. I'm trying to say hello to everyone before I get reading the articles, and then I'm awful at looking at my chat. Although my phone is seemingly working so far, so I might be able to do that. I just don't like to be looking down here and then looking up here to read. And I'm a boomer. I'm turning 35 this year, so I'm an old biatch. Everything is amazing in my life actually right now. So yes, the IRS, that's what it is. The IRS in the USA. So yeah, in that case for you guys, they would send an email or call you up, because I guess they also call, and they would say, I believe so. And then they would say, that they want you to pay back the IRS, which I would hope that everyone knows, which is kind of why I'm doing this live stream too, is to make sure everybody out there knows that that is not how you pay them back. And we're going to go through that, and I will show you the actual website for the CRA, where we will talk about how you protect yourself. So this is the news release that I personally got about this, because it's in Kitchener today, and that's not far off from my hometown. So I had some people in my hometown that were actually sharing this around to kind of be like, hey, watch out for this. Tell your grandparents. I was like, oh, look at them go. Woo. So it says Waterloo Regional Police are issuing a warning. So it's gone so bad that the police are like, yo, we need to put out a warning to everyone, which is worrisome to me. That's why I'm like, oh no, I'm going to have to do a video, and then hopefully everyone around me will see it, and then they will know about this, because it says that several individuals have fallen victim to the gift card scam. In 2020, a total of 167 people fell victim to the scam, resulting in a collective loss of $293,867, which is a lot of fucking money, more money than I've ever had in my pocket. So between January 1st, 2021 and February 28th, 2021, a total of 23 people, which is a lot of people for, 2 months. That's all that it was 2 months, and that many people got ripped off by that. And those people have sustained a combined loss of $57,430, which is you could get a small house for that. You could buy a car for that. That's a lot of freaking money. It is skeezy. And yeah, the IRS doesn't call you. Let me know if in the States you have the same thing. Here in Canada, we get everything via our email, but it's in the actual My Account on the CRA website email. So if you're not hearing from that email, it's not them. It's not. It's a scammer. They won't be sending, you won't be getting an email from some weird name at irs.com or something, or at cra.com. It won't be the Canada Revenue Agency.com. They have a secure system where, so in the US, they send certified mail. So there you go. So if you're not getting it in certified mail and it's popping up in your email, or you get some phone call that's like, listen, you owe us some money, don't freak out, because you don't owe a cent. First of all, I feel like people, that's where they get people, is when you hear you owe money for taxes, you kind of go into this panic mode for a minute, because nobody wants to owe money, and they tend to give you a large number. It says the average loss per person was approximately $2,100. So they're calling people up like, you owe $2,000 to us. And for a lot of people, that's a substantial amount of money. So they're going to hear that. They're going to go, oh my God, I owe that money to them. That's awful. And they go into kind of like a panic mode. So it makes it easier for the scammer to then kind of put them on a spot. And this seems to be happening mainly to seniors who, again, like they might not know any better. And back in their time, maybe there was a time when these agencies did call, before telephone scammers were so bad. Yeah. So again, you guys do have a website too then. Johnny just said you guys have a website. So again, check the website. Always, always go and check the actual website. Call them up even. You can call them and you can be like, just got this really weird call. Like, tell the scammers you'll call them back. Be like, okay, I'll call you back though I'm busy right now. And then call the actual place. So like I said, most of them are by email or by phone. And now this is, again, the messed up part of this particular scam. So we've also talked a bit about the IRS CRA scam, but what's going on with this specific scam seems to be a little bit worse than that, because it says right here, the victims are contacted from someone they believe to be an acquaintance, friend, employee, supervisor, church member, requesting them to purchase gift cards and provide the activation pins. So like I said, they can call the person back, give them the pin to the card. The person can write it down and then use that money somehow. I don't know how they use it. I've never done a gift card scam, but I assume that they go and spend the money on what they want to spend the money on or whatever. And they obviously can use the activation pin as the card, which is a little worrisome to me. I feel like one of the ways we could stop this from happening is if we made it so that that couldn't be a thing. Like, you have to have the gift card. You know what I mean? It should be a rule that if you don't have the actual physical card, then you can't use it. Now, where that becomes a problem, of course, is online purchases. Then they'll just, they'll order it online. They're always trying to get like one step ahead of us out here. So, yeah, see, panic mode, Emily, that's what happens. And especially, like I said, with seniors, because they are targeting elderly people, usually boomers, people that maybe don't know about these scams as much, or at least like I said, a lot of seniors are like deaf. So someone calling them up and like, because I would personally recognize a voice. I would be like, you don't sound like my cousin, but a senior might not clue in and be able to recognize that voice. So that's why it's easier for them to target them as well. And that just makes me really sick. It does. It makes me kind of gross. Hello, H-bomb. So this is a happier story because I'm a positive fish. So I wanted to share this because this makes me happy and we need more cashiers. This is another reason why I do videos like this as well, because if you're out there and you're working and you're a cashier, you're somebody out there working that job, good for you. Good for you, because you are all our essential workers right now as well. So thank you for working during this pandemic. You are amazing. But please know about this scam, because this Ontario cashier saved a senior from the scam. So I have to pump this person up and talk about how amazing it is that cashiers are out here speaking out against these scams and stopping seniors from getting ripped off. That's amazing. Let's keep spreading awareness so that more people know to do that, because if the cashiers know about the scams, they know what to look for. So if they have an elderly person come and shop and they're asking for a gift card, and it seems like a weird story, like my grandson is in jail and needs me to send him a gift card. Now, they do usually tell them to lie, which it's done often where the scammer will even say to them, tell the cashier if they ask that it's for a birthday gift or something. And that should be a red flag automatically. But again, a lot of the people that get taken are not people that are aware of this. So let's pump up this amazing person for stopping this from going on, because, I got to be positive here. I'm kind of a positive person. So an Ontario cashier says she felt something wasn't right when a senior tried to purchase about $3,000 worth of Google gift cards. So they're also using Google. So again, if they tell you to use a Google gift card to pay back the IRS or the CRA, no, that's not how you would do that. We're going to go through how you would actually do that in a moment. Don't worry. So yes, $3,000, again, a substantial amount of money. There's no situation where I really even think a grandparent would buy $3,000 even for a gift for a grandchild. Just kind of putting it out there. It's a lot of money. Even rich people grew up with money. Even my grandparents wouldn't have done that. And my grandparents spoiled me. So, if you're a cashier and you get a big number like that, it's good to be like, wait, what's going on here? So Kathy Lumia, good for this person, works at a Shoppers Drug Mart in Uxbridge, Ontario, said she immediately noticed red flags with the purchase. Thank God, right? Thankfully, she was like, this ain't cool. This is not something that, first of all, probably happens around here. Like we don't have people buying $3,000 worth of gift cards every day for presents around here. It's very weird, especially for Google when you're a senior. How many seniors do you know need $3,000 worth of Google gift cards? So she noticed red flags. She said it sounded very fishy that an elderly person was coming to do that, So cashiers are trained to ask questions, and good for places for training people now to ask these questions. That's great. I think we need to make sure that continues. Yeah, see, like, not a lot of people are buying $3,000 worth of gift cards, even if they're loaded. They're probably not buying $3,000 worth of Google gift cards for a grandchild. It sounds weird, so it probably is weird. And they're now training the cashiers to ask the questions. And she said that she noticed that the senior seemed scared and also didn't want to answer any questions about the large purchase. I asked her, did they tell you not to speak with anyone about this situation? And she said, yes, that's correct. I'm not to talk about it with anyone. So red flag is, if let me tell you, if a grandmother was going in there to buy $3,000 Google gift cards for her grandkids, she'd be bragging about that all heaven. She'd be like, oh yeah, it's my kid's birthday. I'm going to be spoiling him. Like she wouldn't be all like, I don't want to answer any questions about why I'm doing this. So she spoke with the manager and they both agreed the woman should not go ahead with the purchase. Lumia explained to the woman she had likely been targeted by criminals involved in the CRA tax scam. So because it also apparently seems to be coming from the same place. Oh, I do watch scam bait videos. I really, really enjoy the scam baiter videos. I watch a lot of Jim Browning. I watch a lot of Parody. I absolutely adore them. They're amazing at what they do, and they put on a show when they do it too. Like they do. They put on an entire show. They'll call the scammers. They'll be doing voices, characters. Pierogi will have a whole background going where if he's driving in the car, then he has a car background behind him, and you got sound effects and the whole 9 yards. And they do it. He does it live, which is amazing to me because I'm lucky if I can get through a decent live stream. And then these dudes are doing sound effects and backgrounds and whatnot while baiting the scammers, and it's fabulous. And they've also deleted the files off of the scammers' computers and stuff, which, I mean, if there's any way to stop a scammer, that's it. You hack him and delete all of his files off of his computer so that he has no way of scamming anyone else. I mean, there you go. So, anyway, sorry. Nice to see you, Melissa. I just thought I would answer your question because you were like, you should watch that. And I was like, girl, I'm there. I've been in those live streams. So it's really great that they can go and talk to their managers and be like, hey, let's stop this purchase from happening. I think all cashiers should be doing that. So police are saying that gift cards are often used by fraudsters as payment because they can't be easily traced, which is why I say nowhere will ask you to pay them back in a gift card. Nowhere. They will ask you for your credit card number, maybe, which they had to stop doing because everyone got smart about giving their credit card to strangers over the telephone. So now they thought they got smart, and now they're asking for gift cards. So let's stop that from happening. And then I'm sure they'll try and find some other way. And then we'll try and stop that from, we'll just do this forever. So Detective Doris Carrier, sorry if I messed that up. Carrier, I think, with the Financial Crimes Unit at Durham Regional Police said, unfortunately, many people get duped by scammers this way. The scenario is typical of what we see. There are different ways to get money, and the gift card is one we see quite often. Avoid becoming a victim of fraud, be cautious if someone you don't know contacts you by phone, email, or text and makes demands, especially if they tell you not to discuss what they told you with anyone. Because if what they were doing was legit, they wouldn't have a reason for you to not discuss it. What would be the issue? I mean, if you did owe the IRS or CRA money, there would be no problem with you also telling people that it's because you owe those places money, that you have to get money out of the bank machine or something, right? So, I mean, you probably wouldn't want to go around blasting that you owe them money if you did, but if there's nothing that says that you're not allowed to tell people. So again, red flag right away. Don't give out any kind of personal information over the phone or email ever, 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 ever. And remember that the CRA does not accept gift cards as a form of payment. Neither does the IRS. If you're in the UK, let me know what that place is called. They don't accept them either. Nowhere accepts gift cards. Not one place accepts gift cards. Not one store, not one government agency, not anything will ever ask you to pay them back in gift cards. No gift cards. Also, be cautious if you're asked to send the funds with Bitcoins or wire transfers. That's another thing. They will not be saying, please pay me back in Bitcoin or please wire transfer me money. Okay? Not a thing. So she's obviously very glad she stepped in to prevent the fraud from happening. Everybody, give her a big round of applause. Yes. We are also very glad that she stepped in to stop it from happening. And says other cashiers who notice red flags in the checkout lane should also ask all these questions and stop these scams from happening. Make sure you ask questions. And the person probably will be a little bit nervous when going through this and buying an incredible amount of gift card that you've probably never seen someone want to purchase in their life. So Lumia says she was glad. I feel fantastic, she says, because these scammers didn't get the Google cards and I saved her, the senior, a whole lot of money. Yes, $3,000 to a senior especially is a lot of money. For all we know, she worked her whole life to save up some of that money for her retirement. And then these stupid jackasses come along and try to get her to send it all to them with gift cards for a scam. Shame on them. It's important to know scammers can spoof phone numbers and emails, which is why I said you won't get an email from like at the IRS at the Canada Revenue Agency.com, because apparently that's what they've been using. They are making like these emails that are actually at Canada Revenue Agency.ca. And it's like, no, that's not an email. And the other way you can know is it won't be a secure email. Like I said, there's usually a secure way that you can get a hold of them, like in the app kind of place. Like I said, we have a website we can go to for the CRA. They do all of their talking to us in there. They'll show us on the website screen if we owe money. So always check that first. But again, seniors oftentimes don't know. So what I'm going to ask the people out there who are not seniors to do is make sure you talk about it with your seniors. You know, older people out there, make sure that they know about this. Make sure you spread the word to them so that the seniors that you love in your life do not get taken by these scams, because 57,000 over 50, like we're almost at $57.5 thousand taken. For all we know, we're into the end of March now, which is a whole extra month, and there's probably been more scams going on in that time. So we could be at $60,000 taken from people right now over this scam. And it's a mix of the CRA, IRS, and then them also saying, and by the way, according to those scam baiter videos, they tend to be in the same like call center for some reason too. Like it'll be like the same dude calling, trying to be your grandson as it was the day before, calling, pretending to be the IRS. And you're like, okay. So, you know, just keep that in mind. Yes, always make sure. Yeah, and it's always a .gov. Exactly. It would be like there you should be able to look at the email and be like, that's not the email address that they would be writing me from, which is why they target seniors though. So I have to ask the people out there to talk to the seniors in their life and say, this is what's going on. You know, tell them that if they're using emails and stuff, show them how to check online, because there's some seniors out there that just don't know how to check these things online. So make sure that you go meet up with your grandparent, wear a mask, wash your hands a lot, or even over the phone, and send them an email with some screenshots or something and just say to them, you know, this is what's going on. Please do not fall for this. This is a complete scam. And this is what the real, you know, website looks like. And this is how you check it for yourself. Make sure they know how to call up and check. And then you always tell them to call first, because, you know, if it was the real IRS, let's say, then they would not be worried about you calling them back. So say, I'll just call you back. And obviously, if they're freaking out that you're going to hang up the phone with them, that's another red flag. Because, yeah, they probably wouldn't. Another thing that I've heard, which just kind of popped in my head, is that they'll also tell them that they'll go to jail if they don't pay, in terms of the CRA IRS one. You're not ever going to get a phone call from the police or the FBI, whoever they say is coming to arrest you, the sheriff, depending on where you live, of course. They usually do a decent job of looking up in the states where you are and who would come do the arresting. So, you know, they'll call you up and they'll be like, the sheriff's going to come arrest you today if you don't pay this. They don't do that. If they want to arrest you, you don't get a warning call. If the sheriff's going to arrest your ass, they just come arrest you. Okay. Like, and you won't get arrested like that over this. Otherwise, Onision would be in jail for owing money. You know what I mean? So you got to think. But again, elderly people don't really understand and they'll get kind of flustered. And so just make sure that they know. Talk to your loved ones. So let's talk about how you can protect yourself against this type of fraud, because that would obviously be extremely helpful in this video. So, or live stream, whatever. It will be a video after the live stream. Thank you for watching the replay to those who watch this later. So there are many fraud types, including new ones invented daily. And by the way, this is from the Canada.ca website, the government website, the actual CRA. So please listen to this. Instead of just listening to me blabbering on, I will always show you proof of what I'm saying. So this is the advice. This is the place. So here it even says examples of fraudulent communications: telephone, letter, emails, text messages, online refund forms. They're not going to send you an online refund form. Okay, you're not returning something to Walmart. So no. So taxpayers should be vigilant when they receive, either by telephone, mail, text message, or email, a fraudulent communication that claims to be from the Canada Revenue Agency requesting personal information, such as a social insurance number. Please don't ever give that to them. You do that, they are identity thefting you. You're now facing identity fraud. They are going to create IDs in your name and everything. Don't do that. Credit card number, bank account number, or passport number. Don't ever give these things out to some random person. Email, phoning you, text messaging you. Definitely not in a text message. These scams may insist that this personal information is needed so the taxpayer can receive a refund or a benefit payment, which is the other way they do it. Which people get excited when they're told that they're going to get money back. Sorry, I just got reading comments. But yeah, yeah, don't do the student loan thing, Melissa. They'll get students with that for sure. And if you don't have any student loans and they're calling you about your student loan. See, I got one for a car loan once when I didn't have a car, and I was like, that would be weird because I don't have a car. So I should know money for a loan for a car. I've never bought a car, but okay. And I was like freshly 19, like out on my own. So it was like really bizarre. And that was going on around that time. So yeah, they'll also say that they owe you money. So people can get excited and say, oh, yay, they owe me money, and then give their information to get the transfer to them, and then just never get their money, never hear from the person again. But then all of a sudden their like bank accounts missing money because the person took all their information and somehow got money from them, or their identity has been completely stolen, you know? So cases of fraudulent communication could also involve threatening or coercive language to scare individuals into paying fictitious debt to them. And that's the other thing. The CRA and the IRS are never going to call you up like swearing at you. They'll actually get mad at you if you swear at them. So if they start threatening and swearing at you, you should probably just hang up and not worry about it. Again, though, that's why they literally, all right, Christina, that's fine. They literally like get seniors with it, because seniors aren't as like, they don't know as much. So Yeah, they're telling you not to respond to it. They also have one where you go to a fake website. So again, this is why I say make sure that the seniors in your life, my nose is so itchy right now and I don't even know why. Make sure that the seniors in your life know what the website actually is. Make sure that they know how to get in and check the website. Make sure that they know this so that they don't ever get some kind of email saying this is the link to the CRA or the IRS and then they don't know what it is. Yeah, see, if they're swearing and calling you names, they are obviously a scammer because there is no business that's going to call you about you owing them money and then start swearing at you and calling you names. None. That person would lose their job. Like they take that kind of thing seriously at call centers like that. So if it was legit, right? I mean, Jesus, if the CRA actually did call up people and they ever swore on the phone, they would lose their job. So, no, just it's a scam right away. But again, like I said, seniors, it might just scare them. They just get scared. And a lot of young people that maybe aren't used to like having people swear at them or yell at them in that way might also get scared and go, oh my God, how do I react? And in that panic, sometimes when people are in that state of panic, they'll just do whatever they have to do to get the person to go away. And so they'll do it and they'll give the information with hopes that that will kind of like just get the person to leave them alone, because I've even heard of people hanging up and having them like continuously calling and stuff. So imagine like you're someone that maybe that makes you really nervous, and like that would be awful to go through. You'd be like in your home and then you feel like you're being like attacked in your own home with these scammer phone calls, and then maybe you just want them to go away, so you give them your information and then get screwed over. So yeah, don't ever click on the links in those emails ever, because the other thing that they like to do is they like to do phishing with it. And we kind of talked about this in my other scam video where we went through like all the different scams where you'll click on a link and then it actually gives them access to your entire computer and they can hack all of your information. They can get you when you're checking your like bank account. A lot of people check their bank accounts online right now. So they kind of do it for that. And then they can get into your bank account, steal all of your personal information. And again, identity theft. And once they do it, it's really hard to like undo, which is why it's so important that we spread awareness about the scams and tell our elderly people in our lives, tell your neighbors, tell your grandparents, tell your friends' grandparents, tell your friends so that they can tell their grandparents, that kind of thing. Get it spread around so that nobody is ever taken by these stupid scams because they're awful. So remember that the CRA on the phone, if they ever do call you, let's go through just in case, they will verify your identity first. Okay? They will ask for details about your actual account in the case of a business inquiry. Because yes, sometimes they pretend to be a supervisor of a business. I've even heard of them like pretending to, especially if you're working finances, be your boss and say, I need you to do this money transfer to this place right now, blah, blah, blah. So that's why they're saying that. Contact individuals or businesses about a tax debt. Okay, they might contact, but again, you will know when it is them. They will contact you from the actual CRA phone number if they ever do, but it is very unlikely, and you can always check this information and double check it. They can call you to begin an audit process. They may call you to offer free tax help for your small business, and they'll call your organization or association to offer support in helping your clients access benefits and credits. But of course, they are never going to demand immediate payment by Interact e-transfer, Bitcoin, prepaid credit cards, or gift cards from retailers such as iTunes, Amazon, Walmart, Google anything you can think of. The MasterCard ones, which has been a really big thing lately. They love to say the MasterCards, right? They found out about the credit card gift cards, and that is even better than an iTunes gift card or Amazon gift card, because I believe with those ones, they actually have to buy stuff with the card. But of course, with the credit cards, they can spend that money on anything, anywhere. So that's even better. They will never use aggressive language or threaten you with arrest or sending the police. Please trust that if the police are coming to arrest you, you do not get a warning. Okay? Leave voicemails that are threatening or give personal or financial information. They will first call and make sure you are who you are before they will even talk finances with you. They will have you go over your account number. They will have you do all that stuff. If they ever do call you, it's not very likely that they call. Like, it doesn't happen often, usually only in an emergency situation. And I think you would also know by then that you owe the CRA money. Like, if you weren't doing your taxes for 15 years and you were trying to rip them off and then they called you, you'd probably know. But again, in case these places are also trying to scam those people, just be wary that, it's not very likely they will call you up and be like, listen, you owe us money. And again, if they did, there would be a lot of ways to know that it's actually them, including the phone number. The phone number will actually come from the actual Canada Revenue Agency. Always double check the phone number. Make sure that your loved ones know what the phone number is so that they know when they look down on it, because these scammers will have it pop up as like Canada Revenue Agency, but it will probably be spelt wrong. Something's usually off about the name of it, and then it won't be the actual phone number of the place, right? They'll just make it look like the number of the place, but they'll be like 2 numbers off. And so that's how you can tell. So if they ever do, yeah, see, they'll also try to make friends, and no CRA person or person from a business is ever going to try and be your friend on the phone or hit on you, which is also a thing that I see a lot of. They hit on the women, especially the older women. I'm kind of like, ew, like they'll be like, oh, sweetie. And that's cringe. Okay. That's cringe. So they may notify you by email when you get a new message or document. But like I said, it will be like, go and check the secure CRA portals in the My Account, My Business account, or the Represent a Client account, whatever one you're using. That's where it will tell you to go. I've had this done to me before where they have said, like, we have some money coming to you. But when I get the email, it will be from the actual CRA, and it will only say to me, you have new information in your My Account. Go check your My Account to see that information. All it is it's a notice to me that I have new information to check in there. It's not going to give me any of the information in there. It doesn't say anything to me other than go check your My Account. There's a new message in there, or there's new information, or we've changed something, or something like that. They will never, ever, 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 ever give you a link to click on to do that. They will just give you the My Account link, which when you click on the My Account link, it will lead you to your actual My Account. However, it will never, ever be like a form that pops up. Like I said, you will then have to log into your CRA My Account, the actual one. They will never, ever, ever give or ask for personal financial information by email. And they don't ask you to click a link. Like I said, they just say you can go and check it in My Account. Their My Account is usually like the color blue. And if you click that, then it's just an easy way for you to get to the actual My Account. They'll never email you a link saying to fill out an online form. There is no online forms that they will just email you. Everything is done in the accounts. If you're doing it over the web, everything is done in those places, not via emails back and forth like you're writing your Aunt Judy. It doesn't happen. They will never send you an email with a link to your refund. They will never send you an email with anything that you'll be able to see other than, like I said, the actual website of the My Account to log in to get the information. Or like you guys say that there's one in the States for the IRS, whatever you guys use to go on there and check. Again, that's all you'll ever get in your email would be a link to that place. And then you will have to sign in like you do when you go to it yourself. And that's a good way to check too, is if, even if you don't trust those links, just go into a new browser and then just go to it yourself. That's a good way to just avoid that altogether. They're never, ever, ever going to ask for money back in any of the ways that they, like we said, by email, by mail, by phone. They're just not going to ask for it in any gift cards or transfers or anything. And they do not threaten you in any way, shape, or form, especially with an arrest or a prison sentence. Like I said, trust, the cops don't give you a warning. Now, by mail, I'm just going to say this, by mail, you should know that when you get a mail from these places, it is going to be the mail from these places. Like, they will have their actual address on it. They will have the stamps on it. They usually have some kind of stamp that they actually put on it that will, you'll know your government stamp. All of us tend to have a stamp that goes on our government mail. You will see that on there. That is what it will look like. They don't really take legal action to recover the money you owe if you refuse to pay your debt. They just kind of will take any benefits that they might owe to you ever in future. If you owe them, they'll just take your tax money from you when you do your taxes. They'll take your baby bonus if that's something you get, that kind of thing. But they don't usually take legal action. There's not going to be much of the Canada Revenue Agency taking people to court. Here in Canada, it doesn't happen. I do hear that in the States, it can happen a lot more where you'll go to court. But like I said, you should know by then if you do actually owe them money. And it will, again, come from the actual certified mail. Or even if they don't make you sign for it, they just send you a letter. They'll have the stamp. There's always a stamp. Always look for that. And yeah, they will tell you that you may, need to begin an audit process or whatever. But again, that will all be done through the My Account. They will never, ever, ever, ever want to meet up with you in a public place to make a payment. Anytime that you need to pay the CRA, you will do it directly through the website in the My Account, or you will go down to the actual Canada Revenue Agency or the actual IRS place, okay? You are not going to be told to meet some Joe Smo on a park bench to pay back the CRA, ever. Again, by mail, they're not going to ask you by mail to pay them back with any kind of gift cards, and they will never, ever threaten you. Please, guys, if they are calling you up and saying, if you do not pay me back, you're getting arrested, they're not going to arrest you. It's a scam. Make sure that you know it is a scam. So, how do you protect yourself from these things completely? Now that we know what the CRA or the IRS, because trust, this is the same information for the IRS too. They also seem to do communications with people very similarly. So just know that's not how they go about things. You will know when they send you an actual piece of mail. They too have a stamp that goes on their mail. You can double check the address. Your actual CRA account will be at the top, or your actual IRS account will be at the top, right? That's what it will look like. So never, ever, ever, ever give out your personal information through internet or by email. They will never ask for it. Okay, they already have it. You know what I mean? They don't need it. They already have it, sis. You're good. So be suspicious if you are ever asked to pay taxes or fees to the CRA on lottery or sweepstakes winnings. This is another thing that they've apparently been doing, is that they've been saying that you owe taxes on those things. You don't owe taxes on any of that. Keep your access codes, user ID, passwords, and PIN secret. Okay? Make sure that they're in a place that you can get to them easily too. Because a good way of, knowing if it's a scam, if you get a letter in the mail, is do they have that access code or your user ID up on there? Because if it was from the actual place, they would have that information on there. Keep your address current with all government departments and agencies, which you should be doing anyway, because you can actually get in trouble if you don't do that. So please make sure you always update your address with those places. Choose your tax preparer carefully. So make sure that when you're getting your taxes done, you aren't just getting some random dude on Craigslist to come and do your taxes for you. Go into a tax place, because they also have some scammers out there that will pretend to do taxes and then they will steal your information. That's apparently also been a thing out here. So just putting that information out there. It's a little bit away from the scam we're specifically talking about, but still in the same realm. Monitor your tax accounts. Again, that is the best way. That's why I'm saying teach seniors how to pay attention to these things with the internet, since a lot of things are done online now. We have to kind of teach our seniors how to use it, how to double check these things, who to call to find out the information, maybe even if they don't use. Like I said, tell them to tell the person, I will call you back, and hang up the phone and then call the actual place and ask them. They'll say whether or not they owe money, and they should know. You will know. If you're monitoring your stuff, you know. Someone calls you up and says, you owe me tax money. You're like, no, I don't. It's just in my account 2 days ago. I was fine. And I haven't gotten anything from the actual place in my email. So I should be good. And then hang up. Because, you'll know. Before supporting any charity, go and make sure the charity is registered. There has been some drama going on recently online where a lot of people are getting caught for doing some fake charity fundraising and whatnot. Make sure always that your money is going to a registered charity. Always be careful about giving your money to people on the internet, especially even here on YouTube. If they're asking you for money for certain things, make sure they're transparent with it. You want people to tell you where the money's going. And if somebody's telling you where their money's going when they're asking for donations, don't give them a hard time about that. That's what they're supposed to be doing, sis. Caller ID is a useful function. However, it can be altered by criminals. So this is why I say, if you are using that as your means to tell if it's the real place, make sure you have the number readily available. A lot of elderly people like to have a list of all of the phone numbers. One thing that you can do for your elders is you can actually print out a list of all of these types of phone numbers. That way they can do a double check, because like I said, they'll try to make it look like that phone number. They'll try to make the caller ID say the Canada Revenue Agency, but it will be like there'll be no E at the end of revenue or something. Do you know what I mean? So you'll be like, wait. But to someone that maybe is wearing glasses, blind, a little elderly, they look down at that. They might not see it right away. All they see is Canada Revenue Agency. What? Or the phone number is very similar, but it's only the last 2 digits that are different, because they now have these amazing apps that have come out. Just whoever invented these are awesome. Where you can actually spoof your phone number. Apparently, you can make it look like you're calling from a different phone number. So they use this to put in that they're the Canada Revenue Agency, and then they put in a phone number that's very similar, but it will be one number off. So yeah, you have to be careful of that. Don't click any links, and protect your social insurance number. Okay, they don't use it as a piece of ID ever, and don't reveal it to anyone. Okay? Pay attention to your billing cycle. Again, and ask about any missing account statements or suspicious transactions. Always pay attention to your bank account, all your money, always. Shred unwanted documents or store them in a secure place. Make sure that documents with your name and SIN are secure. Shred them. Shred them. If you don't have a shredder, then rip them up into itty bitty teeny tiny pieces before you put them in the garbage. There are people out there that will scavenge the garbage to find people's personal information in their mail to scam them. So just don't ever just throw out a letter from the CRA or the IRS into your trash bin and then think that you're safe. Even if you're throwing it in a dumpster or something, don't do it. Never safe. Always rip that thing up into a bazillion pieces first. Only carry the ID you need. So like here, you usually don't have to carry your passport around with you. So leave that at home. Don't carry that around. Don't use it as ID. If you don't have a driver's license, you can always get an ID card. Make sure that you do that and then carry that with you. Do not be carrying things like your passport. Also, if you ever get robbed out there and they take your purse and your passport and all your IDs in there, you screwed. You need something to go in to be like, yes, I am who I am. This is me. So always make sure that you have one of your main IDs at home. It's just good to do. Only take what you actually need for that trip out. And do not write down passwords and carry them with you. If you do write down passwords, by the way, you keep them somewhere, because I do know some people have to write them down. A lot of people don't trust these things online that store your passwords, which I can't blame you. Like I'm iffy about them too, you know, like storing your password in your computer, and then when they hack your computer, they have all of your passwords. Is not a good idea. So some people have to write them down. If you do that, secure place. Okay? Write it down and put it somewhere where nobody else is ever going to see it or find it. Only you know where it is. Everybody has a place like that in their house. Ask a trusted neighbor to pick up your mail when you are away, or ask that a hold be placed on delivery. So if you go on vacation, make sure you don't ask just a random person to pick up your mail. It's never a good idea. The best thing to do is to have it placed on hold. Sometimes you have to pay for that. So if you don't have the money to pay for that, then get a family member or someone that you trust, because honestly, it's not a good idea to ever have it going to your mailbox and then sitting in your mailbox. There are people that will drive around and look for full mailboxes to go and steal the mail from because they want to do identity theft. Now, this is the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center, okay? And that is where you report the scams. So if you do get a phone call from one of these places, please report it. Call this telephone number, 1-888-495-8501, or go to here. And at the end of this stream, I'm going to be leaving all these links down in the description below so that you can click them and you can come here and report it. They need to know. Write down the phone number that called you. Write down what it said on the caller ID. Write down what they asked you about. Write down anything from the phone call, even noises in the background and stuff. It would be really good to write that down as soon as you hang up the phone, and then get a hold of this place and let them know. That way they can let everyone know. There are places that keep track of all the phone numbers that are scam numbers. So, it's good to know that information. Always check that out too. It's always good to know. Hey, AT2, good to see you here. I love AT2. He's just good people. So if you are not watching him, then you are missing out. So please go subscribe to him and watch him. So again, you can call the CRA if you have been scammed. You can call them. Go to your Service Canada place if you're in Canada, and I'm sure there's a place you go in the US. Hello. I can't say your name. Samaya. I'm sorry. I love you though. Thank you for being here. Christina. Yeah, go subscribe to AT too. He's good people. He has some good streams. And so and videos. So, yeah, go to the Service Canada site, or at least call up the Sin place, tell them that your stuff's been stolen. If you think that, you've been taken by the CRA scam, call the CRA. The information is all here. I will leave a link to it down below. We have some stories here. This is sad. That's sad. Irene is 80 years old, and she was taken by an email phishing scam, pretending to be the CRA, saying that she was entitled to a tax fund. She was surprised they were contacting her, and she never qualified for that in the past. However, she was still getting used to her computer and assumed that since the email was addressed from the CRA, it must be real. She follows the link and fills out her personal information. And that's what happens. So this is why I say, make sure that you guys are teaching elderly people like how to go to the actual website. This is the actual Canada Revenue website. And so as you see, this is it. You come here, all right, and check things out for yourself. You sign into your own My Account, sign in and check it out for yourself. That way you do not get taken by these scams, because yeah, people getting taken by these scams are a bad thing. I don't like to hear about it. How am I doing? I am doing good. Yes, this is AT2. Now that I can come back on here. Go and subscribe if you haven't yet, because I enjoy his stuff and I try to make it to a lot of the live streams. I miss some sometimes because we on different times, bro. We're on different time zones here. I'm on Eastern Standard Time, and a lot of you guys stay up late. You stay up late. All right, Christina says, also call your bank and ask them to put on a double security check for anything to do with banking. Yes. Oh, no. Christina, I only know this because my identity was lost with the Canadian theft of laptops with student loan information on it. Holy, at least you got that back, though. And see, that's why I say to report the scam and go to these websites if you do get scammed by them. There is a lot of ways that you can get your money back if you have been scammed. It's better, obviously, to not get scammed. And that's why I say go talk to elderly people. Let them know that this is going on. Make sure your grandparents know about this, your great-grandparents, your friends' grandparents. Talk about this. Tell people about this. Make sure that they know not to fall for this scam. And if you do know someone that falls for it, there are ways to get your money back. You just have to make sure that you report it as soon as possible. So check in with people too. Like, I'm sure your grandparents would tell you if they got a phone call like that. I like this. That was my 71-year-old mom. She got the arrest call the other day. She told them, come get me, mother effers. And that's what I mean. Like, they're not arrest you for that. So, like, you can straight up be like, no. My husband and I got one once from BC because he used to live there. And so they called him up and tried to tell him that he owed a bunch of money from, like, they must have found his old address from there or something and assumed that he was still living there. They were like, you owe us healthcare money. And he was like, what? And it kind of like had him going for a second because he was like, what the fuck? So he got off the phone and I was like, no. Call them up. Like, call the actual place. And so he did. And they were like, no, we never got a hold of you. I was like, see? You don't owe any money. They're trying to rip us off. Tell them to go away. But yeah, they'll never be like, oh, we're going to come and arrest you if you don't pay us. So that's not a thing here. And again, the cops don't tend to give you a warning. The cops are never like, hey, just thought we'd let you know. We're going to come arrest you. Because that would be like really silly. Hello, my amazing husband. So yes, yeah, they are obviously not going to give you a warning if they're going to come and arrest you. There will be no warning. It will just happen. You will just get police. Okay. So that's another thing. I just think that it would be best if we spread the awareness, though, about these scams before people get taken by them. It's just hard. It's hard. I try to stay on top of them, but I find that a lot of the times these scams don't even kind of come out into the public that openly until a whole bunch of people have been taken from them. You know what I mean? Like, you don't hear about it until it's like people have lost $20,000 from these scams. And I'm of the belief that $1 being lost from a scam is too much money. So when I hear things like $57,000 in 2 months have been taken from people, that's gross. It makes me kind of woozy. I'm like, these sick people, especially when it's like elderly people. Like, come on now. Anyone going after vulnerable people is a piece of crap. And it's disgusting that we actually have like call centers. And the thing is, the hard thing is, because I have a lot of people that are kind of like, well, you know, we report them, but then what happens to that? Well, we spread awareness. The police try and get on top of it. But what happens is in a lot of these places, it's not illegal where they are. So a lot of them are like overseas running these scams in a call center. And when our police or even the US's FBI get a hold of them, there's no laws where they are that say that they can't go around scamming people. So the best thing that we can do here is make sure that people know that these scams exist, spread awareness, talk about them. And I thought that this one would be a good one to talk about since it has taken so many people for a lot of money recently. And then I also had to talk up the cashier because the fact that there was also a cashier that saved somebody, that's pretty cool. So you have to, you know, like, good on that cashier. Let's see more of that. Let's see more cashiers out here, like stopping these, you know, poor older people from getting scammed from these things. You know, if you're working in that job, awesome. Stop people from being scammed. Maybe even spread awareness while you're chit-chatting at the till. Be like, hey, have you heard about this awful gift card scam? Like, never, ever, ever pay a place back with a gift card. Like, to the elderly people, like, just do it. Do it so that they know and so that they don't get taken, because that's what we want. We want to stop the scammers. Since we can't do much legally, like I said, so all we can do is spread the awareness, talk about it, and stop them from ripping our asses off is what it is. So I think I'm going to end the live stream there. I've been on for a while. We had a really good time. I had fun. I mean, as much fun as you can have talking about a scam. My favorite part is always, you know, pumping up people that save people from scams, and then talking about what we can do to prevent people from falling for the scam, because that's, to me, the most important. So make sure you tell your loved ones about this. Make sure that no matter where you are, what you're doing, that you have a fabulous, fabulous day. I'm probably going to take a break tomorrow and not be on because I'm pretty sure I've done a video like every single day this week. Make sure you go check out my videos. I have a lot of scam videos. I discuss multi-level marketing companies as scams because they are a pyramid scheme cult with a product. So I talk about that. I also talk about pseudoscience. I talk about flat earthers. I talk about a lot of anti-vax I have discussed. So if that's something you're into, is debunking or making fun of the anti-vax community, I've done a lot of that. And I plan on doing a lot more of that really soon. And I have documentaries on cults that you can check out. And I have another one coming out really, really soon. So, you know, stay tuned for that. And I will see you in the next one, which is probably going to be Monday. And it will be an anti-MLM video, which should be a lot of fun. So I'll see you all then. Bye!